Frequency Radio Network.
TFR.
Truth Frequency Radio.
TFR.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Hi, this is Alan. I like Ironworx because it's where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came.
I love Ironworx with Josh, Walt and Zach. It's like sitting in your front room having a cosy chat with your best friends.
Hi, it's Diva here, and I just want you to know that Ironworx with Josh, Walt and Zach, it's definitely my favourite dose of reality. Come join the family and keep it flat.
Why sleep in when you could get your dose of iron in the morning? Listen to the Ironworx on TFR.
This is Enlightened Dawn. Roses are red, violets are blue. Iron Realm Media is the best on the plane. To this show, I will forever be true. You guys are truly the best, and I love you guys. I'm so thankful to have you in my life.
Do you like listening to space letters from Never a Straight Answer? Then tune in to the Ironworx with Zach, Walter, and Josh. Break clear of the fear on the Ironworx and become an Iron Scout.
Thank God it's Friday.
And a TGIF to you all. Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to the Ironworx right here on Truth Frequency Radio, TFRlive.com. And usually this is where I come and I introduce everybody one by one. But we've been doing this for, 3 years now? So if you're here and you don't know who we are and you can't figure out who we are, well, maybe just scroll back through the archives and catch yourself up.
What in the world are you doing this morning?
I'm done. I'm done with it. I'm just so done. I mean, if they can't figure out between Lucas and Walter, look, just by the tone of voice,
then the first day of 1,000 new people tuning in, and you just blew it for them. 1,000 people just went, wait, who are they? Who is that?
I don't know who this guy's.
I don't know.
I'm turning this shit off.
Snap.
And I had I had a heap of things to say as well.
Dude
with
had
my
his whole thing. He was going to upload for 30 minutes. He was going to take the first second for himself. Right.
Well, do it. Just because I'm not formally introducing you.
Actually, I didn't. I was like, fuck, what are we going to say today? Anyway.
Well, that's
nice. Well, we're here. Hi, everybody. Hi. I didn't even have time. That's my typing time, Josh. You're fucking up my typing hello time and everything, man.
That's what it is. I'm just trying to keep you out of chat. Big shout out to Ben Flat, too, by the way. Showed up there first and just sat there alone in the echo chamber waiting for the rest of everybody to show up.
In the echo, right. And if we're going to do it that way, then hello, Billy Tano and Allie. And I saw you, Dawn. She was over at the actual TFR chat before all you folks. I'm just saying. I
know Dawn is up bright and early today.
Right. What's up, Roberto? I see you, my buddy. How you doing? You said hey to TJ, but I'm going to do it too. Hi, TJ. Who is LC? King? Like a king? What's up?
Yeah, licking. Yeah, I've heard that one before.
What's up, Ben?
Maybe it's locking. Maybe. How about lacking?
Oh shit, my dudes.
Maybe you're like a little
Friday, my dudes.
Leprechaun, and you're just out lucking, giving luck to people.
Lucking,
yeah, lucking.
Lucky Luke. Yeah, could be that.
Right. Hello, Zombie Snoop. Oh, and look, Liz, our Iron Maiden, has arrived. Hello, Liz. I'm gonna try to catch y'all as I see y'all. I know I'll miss somebody.
So did you guys notice we had an intro music today from the studio? I was so excited.
Oh, I thought you played that.
That was from the studio?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Good Morning TFR I played, but the music before.
The actual
yeah.
I was like, wow, cool. Josh dug that up. I had been missing it because, dude, that's our like OG jam.
That's, yeah.
That would be called Iron Fist by, I used to know the artist and it's gone now.
I could dig it.
I used to drive down the road at 4 a.m.
Going to work,
like pretending like I'm Homer Simpson hitting mailboxes.
There we go. Just for the Mad Pieman. I know you were there missing the screaming goat.
Mad Pieman. You got it. I missed it. See, I knew I'd miss people.
Not too good. So how's everybody's week? Anything super exciting happen?
Yes. And
fill us in.
Well, maybe I shouldn't even discuss it because, it's not official yet. But it may be official today. It could have been official yesterday, but I wasn't at work for it to be made official or to find out if it would be made official. I don't know. So I'm going into work this morning and maybe it will be made official then. But I said at least a year ago on the air that my work had totally revamped their paint room. They got like a new paint booth and just revamped it all. And they ripped out their passivization system. And it's basically just a way to treat the metal and clean it up and get everything ready for primers and anodizers and all that good stuff. So the problem they were having was that they were using distilled water and the distilled water wouldn't hit the right pH that they needed to passivate the metal. So they yanked it out and put in reverse osmosis. And they had all this stuff that they yanked out of the old paint room, sitting up on pallets, and they wrapped it up in plastic real good. And they were just going to call the scrap guys and have the scrap guys come and get it. At some point, it's a decent sized warehouse. It was just sitting there, not taking up any real space, not in anybody's way. So I'd walk by it and I'd just see that big ass distiller sitting there. And I think I even mentioned it about maybe talking to somebody at work about paying them the scrap price, or even if I'd be willing to pay over scrap price if it was still working and all that good stuff. But just see if they'd be willing to part ways with that old water distiller that they had, because mine that I had for the countertop shot craps. Lasted about 6 months tops. Kept it clean, all that good stuff. It just quit heating. Element went out, I guess. I don't know. I probably could have repaired it. But that planned obsolescence came a little bit fast. Anyway, for at least 12 months. Pretty sure it's more than that because we've been doing this COVID BS for over 12 months. And it was before that all this kicked off. Anyway, I've been waiting patiently. I planted the seed early and I'd come back and water it occasionally just to make sure it didn't completely die. But then I kind of stepped up the watering process over the last few months and kind of lit a fire under my boss to talk to his boss, to talk to his boss, to talk to the owner of the company and see exactly what was what. So apparently on Wednesday, the email chain was finally started. And I have unofficially been given this giant water distiller.
That's nuts.
It is totally
emphasis on the giant.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a really good water distiller. I think it just needs a good cleaning, as far as I understand it, and it should be good to go. But this water distiller distills 12 gallons of water a day and has a 20-gallon reservoir tank underneath it.
Wow. So I'm just going to start, you're going to just start shipping me water then.
Well, I was thinking, yeah, I could totally, because sometimes it's hard to find distilled water around here.
Oh, yeah. Or trust it.
But what if I bought a case of blue bottles and vortexed it, ran it through some magnets, after it was distilled and just bottled it up. I bet you I could sell
it.
Artisan water. Yeah, I bet you I could.
I'd buy that up, brother. Iron water? Fucking A.
Maybe not that. That'd probably not be the best name for it.
Not the best name. I know. Even as I said, I'm like, yeah, that doesn't sound like some kind of like nuclear plant waste or something.
Right.
You guys ready to open the valve of the iron water? Everybody suited up. Stand back. Everybody. Homer, hit it. Oh.
You could call it flat water.
Oh, you and TJ. Exactly as you said.
Yeah, okay.
TJ hit it in the chat. That's fucking synchronicity. That was awesome. What's up,
got no
Dino?
Well, I was going to say they have those O2 machines where you can inject the carbonation into your own tap water and make your own carbonated drinks. You could have a whole second line. One is carbonated and one is flat.
Nice.
But I did also buy a small aquarium pump because there's so much chlorine in our tap water that I don't want to feed it to the girls. So if you put a couple aerator stones in the water for at least 24, I did 48 just because ours is kind of bad. But just pump air bubbles through the water and just keep it circulating and keeping it going. I guess the chlorine evaporates off there. I don't know what the fuck.
But yeah, it's supposedly what it does, yeah.
It dechlorinates the water and makes it a little bit nicer on the plants. So I got that going.
And it supposedly attacks our ozone layer as well. The pools do.
And that hole up there must be at least, what, the size of a continent by now?
It must be.
Wait.
I mean,
what happened to that?
Yeah,
we haven't had a report on that in years. Wait, that was important, right? That was going to end all life on our little spinning pear. And
the next ice age was coming.
We're all going to. That's what I'm saying. It was on, dude.
It was global freezing back in the 80s.
I was panicking.
Fuck yeah.
The seals were like getting beaten or something. I don't know. I'm confusing stuff probably, but something was bad with the seals. And then, I don't know. Yeah. People.
Here, I thought it was just a group of people that were fans of seals.
Seals, right?
I didn't realize what the Seal Club really was.
Shout out to Marve. I saw you pop in and was going to say, hey, and then I scrolled past you. So, hello, Marve. And Miriam has shown up. Hope you're doing good, Miriam. Hope things are better. Definitely sending lots of love your way for everybody. You know that guy. Who else did I miss? Was that? I said hello to Dino, didn't I? Dean. Hello, Dean. Dino. Dan Morris. That's who I missed. Hello, Dan. All right, that's it. Everybody's had their hello. I think I probably missed somebody. Go, Lucas. I hear you.
So no, well, didn't I just derail that conversation you were having, Josh, with about your water?
We all did. We're excited about his
piped in with ozone.
Yeah, no, that was it. Yay, water. I'm good.
I'm excited. Between the magnets, you're going to vortex it. You're going to have, hell yeah. It's going to be on.
Because they've got a bunch of those plastic, like 5-gallon blue water jugs, I guess, that they were using when they were using the distilled water so they could store up some distilled water if they needed to. He said there's probably a good chance I could grab a handful of those too. So that'd be a great way to vortex 5 gallons of water at a time. Just cut the bottom off of one, put the next together, treat it that way.
Yeah, do it. I need to do that for my water as well.
I know.
I'm
Every
happy
time
I'm happy I just got a new pump to actually, spread the water out over my garden. The next step is to actually do something with it to actually, make it friendlier for the plants.
So for $20, I picked up a soil pH tester. And it measures the light sort of in lux. It's not really the way I need my light measured indoors, but measures the soil pH. It came with a TDS meter and a digital pH meter. I got all 3 testers for $20 off of Amazon. Couldn't hardly beat it. But another big thing about making sure that water is available to the plants is making sure it's got that right pH to it.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Yep.
I agree. I concur.
I'm right there with you, sir. That's here with you, sir.
You can't have it too acidic, you can't have it too alkaline. You want it just right. 7, I think it is.
Exactly.
Mine's a little...
Yeah, man. 7 squirrels.
But it depends.
Oh, stop.
No, 7.
Can't do it in 6 pH. Are you crazy?
Who's ever heard of 6 pH?
I'm not going to go through the whole nursery rhyme thing, but you all know what we're talking about.
That's why I stopped myself. It's like, stop it. Don't do it. They're babying you, man. Just don't take it. Don't do it.
Yeah, the garden has really taken off since the whole river water thing. I mean, I was using river water, but now that we have like lots of river water, you can't see the one garden bed. It's all pickles and cucumbers and melons just covering the whole thing.
Nice.
The green beans, you can't see through the wall. It's got a good wall up there now. The zucchinis are still only like an inch long. I don't know what's going on. It's like the slowest growing. Oh, it's crazy. And the tomatoes are going gangbusters. I don't know if this is the year of the tomato. 21 was the year of the tomato, maybe, but our tomatoes are doing awesome. We got so many. I've never canned tomatoes.
One of his ugly tomatoes this year, and it was just amazing. Oh man, he won't tell me his secrets. He's got some stuff. He literally goes out and just babies and puts in a little blanket on it, and he's got some crazy looking tomatoes. This one almost tasted like a watermelon. It was so sweet.
Yeah, I've been wanting to start the new set of greens, but it's been so hot. Yesterday was 97 with the heat index of 102. Today's supposed to be up there again. I don't think they'll germinate. I think it's too hot for them to start germinating. So yeah, I'm just going to wait a little bit. But yeah, the garden finally turned around. That river water is amazing. It really is.
Yeah, that'd be some good shit right there. I'm going to be starting the seed tomorrow, actually. So I don't know, it might be a little bit early, but I'll plant a heap of stuff and see how it goes. If I do it early and it fails, I can always redo another batch.
How are the seed prices down there? Do you buy
I don't know.
big bulk?
I bought them, sort of. It depends what it is. If I'm using some crops use a lot of seed, so sort of does add up. It just depends on what the plant is or whatever it is, the variety. If they're F1s or whatever, and so it does add up. Like not long ago, I spent maybe about $2,500 on seeds. So
nice. Oh, that reminds me. Zach, I sent you that photograph, and then as we just started discussing it last night, we got cut off because we were heading out and in that car trip, bad reception, whatever. Did you see the cans, the jars that I had finally found?
That was pretty good. I saw that.
Yeah, everyone, just go check your whatever there in your area, like big box lumber area. Here it was a place, called Lowe's. That's where I found them. So I hate to tell everybody because you're going to go get them all now, and I won't go get them. But I haven't done much canning, so it doesn't really matter for me. Go get them.
Man. I've been to all the big box places, all the small box places, every grocery store around here.
No, this was like the last place I would have thought, though, to have it at like a lumber place, like a big hardware type place like Lowe's or what's the other one?
Oh, yeah.
They
have them there. The depot.
They had a ton of them here. So, but as you see, 3 of our local stores that I've gone to since you said that they're not around, they're not, and that wasn't a thing until I heard you say that. So either you manifest that shit, or the people that are in the know are starting to get their shit ready for what's coming. So, or
Yeah,
they're
it could
just
be
not
related to all the.
out
Yeah,
there
it could be.
because they don't want people to have access to it too.
I noticed last time I went grocery shopping earlier this week, the shelves are more stocked, like it used to be. Finally, because usually there'd be like 2 or 3 of an item, and then the whole back behind it. You could stand at the end of a shelf and pretty much look down the whole thing behind all the stuff. Nothing was like fully stocked. And now things are finally getting to be fully stocked where it looks like a grocery store again. So I don't know. For whatever it's worth, things are, at least the shelves are being stocked again. Somewhat, how they used to be. That's a good sign. Things are picking back up. People are back to work. Things are getting shipped. Yeah, that whole little thing they did there really, man, it just sent out ripples in just like every direction. That's what happens when you shut down the world for a while. Yeah, Bob and I were talking about that last night. If people can't realize that the powers that be are at least at the very minimum all working together, I think this was supposed to be Ronald Reagan's, if we could all unite against one common enemy. Well, instead of trying to pull off their alien invasion, which they're, I'm sure, not ready for yet, and when they do, it's probably going to be funnier than it is scary, hopefully. Watching all this shit glitching all over the place. But yeah, I don't think they were ready to do that. So they picked an invisible boogeyman that the whole world can unite against. And we were talking, and it's like, yeah, you can tell that all these first world major countries are working together. It's very obvious. Then you go to some other countries, there's a couple countries in Africa there, where the president was testing kiwi and, llamas or whatever, goats, and saying, yeah,
yep,
we're getting positive results testing fruit. So how accurate are your tests? So not everybody in the world is in on it. There's some hope out there, but for the most part, this should wake people up a little bit if you have doubts about it, that, hey, okay, so Russia and the United States aren't mortal enemies. They're both playing out of the same playbook. So, I think it's hurting them more than it's actually helping them. I really do. I think it seems like everything they've done over the last 30 years has just about backfired. Kind of like once the internet came out. Once we were allowed to communicate and share things and break down ideas and videos and all this kind of stuff, it's really put a snafu in their whole agenda.
Oh, I agree to some degree, some respect, but how long are we into this? So I always come back to it's like, how long we've been going through this? It's like too long in my mind. You know what I mean?
Well, it's not something that ever ends. It's the war between good and evil. It's not something that's ever going to just stop.
It'll just change its face, just morph around to something different.
This is the war that never ends. It just goes on and on, my friend. Some people started fighting it, not knowing what it was, but we'll continue fighting it forever just because this is the war that never ends. Jesus Christ.
Oh, we need a soundbite.
Oh, it's going to be recorded, don't you worry. It's there.
We've only got about 2 minutes before we hit the first break. I'm not sure if there's going to be commercials or not. I did not hear commercials at the beginning of the show.
I'm excited to hear them if it happens. I'm not. I hate commercials. I mean, I love commercials. They pay Chris's bills.
They do pay Chris's bills.
Perhaps we need some outside universal threat. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
Uh-huh.
Really?
Some people would just call him an actor.
Some people would. An actor who acted with a monkey.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen Ronald Reagan in a movie.
Are you kidding, dude? He was in some awesome westerns, and again, he acted with a monkey.
See, I couldn't do
Clint
those
Eastwood
old
did
westerns,
too.
though.
Clint Eastwood acted with the monkey.
No, he acted with orangutans. That's a whole different ball of wax. Right?
Yeah, I love it. Right turn, Clyde. What was it, right turn or left turn, Clyde? They'd punch the guy out the window?
Yeah, one of those.
Probably left turn. Robert Louis Stevenson. So that'd been left turn.
What? Shout out Cam there in chat. Oh, wow. That's actual break music.
That's music.
It's almost like a show.
Fingers
it's
crossed.
Tom Petty. It's with Chris. I'll stop.
But this is the Ironworks right here on Truth Frequency Radio. Stick around for the second segment coming up right after these brief messages.
Hey everyone, it's Chris Gio, founder of Truth Frequency Radio and host of Beyond the Veil. The mainstream media and establishment are running scared right now, and they've prominently featured truthfrequencyradio.com as number 89 on the federal government's hit list, also known as the fake news list, which is essentially a list of sites slated for censorship on Facebook, YouTube, Google, and other social media. Now is the time for you to get involved. Share your favorite TFR shows far and wide on forums and social media. Tell your friends and family about your favorite shows. If you're a business owner, get in touch with us to feature your product or service right here on TFR. And if you haven't done so already, become a TFR supporter now and get unlimited commercial-free downloads in high quality. Visit truthfrequencyradio.com/sign-up. Thank you for making TFR the leader in independent and uncensored talk radio. Truth Frequency Radio, your protection from deception.
Poor water quality is a major health issue, and it's only getting worse. Municipalities can't keep up, standards have dropped, and pollutants are increasing. Where does it all end? It ends by keeping the pollutants outside of your home with HydroCare's advanced systems available at Wave Home Solutions. No less than the best purification materials and processes have been developed by HydroCare to provide you with healthy, clean water for drinking, cooking, and showering. HydroCare far surpasses the competition in removing chlorine, odors, iron, lead, chemicals, limescale, and much more. Don't settle for less when it comes to your water. We'll take care of the toughest water problems for you, whether it's from a city or well source. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, call 888-997-WAVE. That's 888-997-WAVE. Or go to bestwater123.com. That's bestwater123.com.
Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
Dowsing is the ancient science of finding water and metal underground. Albert Einstein said that dowsing was tapping into earth energies which modern science as yet does not understand. Diamonds, silver, gold, and platinum objects have all been found using dowsing. And now, for the first time on film, we visit the pyramids, Stonehenge, and ancient sites, dowsing for buried treasure and tapping into this mysterious Earth energy.
The Enigma Channel. Intelligent television for planet Earth. EnigmaTV.com.
Real people, real radio.
Initiating the truth frequency.
This is Truth Frequency Radio.
And welcome back to the Ironworx on Truth Frequency Radio, TFRlive.com. Also live on our Iron Realm Media YouTube channel, Facebook page, maybe Twitter, DLive, Odyssey. We are multi-streaming. But believe it or not, we have Josh, Walt, Zach, and Lucas hanging out with me. Well, I'm not hanging out with me, but you know.
So I watched a movie yesterday, right?
Right.
It's that Tomorrow War. Have you heard about this?
I've heard mixed reviews.
I watched the first 30 or so and then got disinterested completely. I was going to go back and haven't.
All right. Well, the ending was so stupid.
That's kind of where it led from where I was at. That's why I left, because it just was.
Yeah. So, okay, spoiler alert. They don't come.
Oh, no.
These things are like a
Go ahead, I'm off.
It's like a pack of wild animals just ravaging humans. Humans are pretty much food, and we're being hunted by these wild beasts. They don't have guns. They don't have. It's just like a wild beast that was released into our, realm, and we can't stop them. Nothing can stop them. They eat everything. Well, come to find out, they were already here. An alien ship crashed in the northern whatever Yucatan Peninsula, wherever, somewhere where it's always cold. But global warming in 2023, of course, it's in the future, got warm enough to thaw them out and released them. But they were on an alien spaceship. It's not like they were here before and then, got trapped somewhere. They actually made it an alien spaceship, and these aliens crashed while they were transporting these things, supposedly, or something like that. They never really clarify it. But they had to throw that alien thing in there, the alien spaceship and all this stuff. I was thinking, oh, cool. They're going to make it. These things have always been here, this and that. They were just, through the extinction, they somehow lived in this one area and blah, blah, blah. They got trapped and went hibernated or something like that. No, it was aliens, alien spaceship. I don't know. They can't get away from that agenda. And the movie wasn't good at all. Like Walt said, about a half hour, and he was like, eh.
Well, it got 78% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So do a lot of.
I'll shut up now.
Yeah, it was all right. You know, not special effects were cool. The monsters were cool. But the
Yeah, we're just
story,
biased now because we know aliens suck and we know, things are out of space are not real, and it just ruins it for us.
So Dixie's
But obviously the people
I
watching
thought that
on,
was going to be the case, Lucas. I truly thought that was going to be the case. And just to kind of test that theory, there were, I think it was, I'm trying to remember the name now. I may be saying it wrong. Either it was called The Fourth Kind. I think it was called The Fourth Kind. So that movie came out.
There are no owls.
Dude, fuck that movie and fuck them faces and people made and fuck the feeling that movie gave me, even though I knew what was really going on. And then there was one more recent than that, I was already aware of a lot. Dark Skies. I can't remember the name. I'll have to go look that one up, but it was about a family. Like the mom goes in to go say goodnight or hear something in the kid's room and goes in and they're hunched over the fucking bed. And from that point, I won't spoil it. I'm looking at you, Zach. No, I'm just fucking with you. Go watch it. I'll get the right name. Again, oh my God, it was making me terrified. Maybe just because of, my life experiences. But yeah, even knowing things are fucking what they are, it's still good to have a good time in the movie every now and again. It's hard to lose it, get that disbelief suspended sometimes. You just got to find that right buoyancy.
Dixie's been watching a show called Britannia. And it seems like we watched it. There were familiar parts. She said we watched it. I don't invest a whole lot into the TV shows, so I don't really care if I'm in there watching it or if I'm downstairs with the girls or out having a cigarette or whatever. So I kind of come and go. She can get invested and sort of get involved in the TV show a lot more than I can. And she got involved in the show Britannia. Basically, it's about Rome coming over and meeting up with the Druids and how that conflict took place. And it's not historically accurate, probably whatsoever. But there's just some really interesting things going on with the Druids, and there's some prophecy and some paganism and magic and just some weird things that kind of got me thinking about, the forces of that we can't see. They don't necessarily affect us directly. More of these little whispers in our ears, nudges, and the indirect direction, sort of the way that they take. And I thought sort of how that relayed to the magic that they're practicing. Sometimes it can be powerful. Sometimes it's less so and doesn't work out so well, but it's all still sort of that same indirect nudging. It's not like big, plasma blasts erupting from your fingers. It's not like I'm a sorcerer doing things on an RPG game, but they're doing these little natural magic. So it's knowledge from the original people, right? The first man or the second man, these original people. And it's this knowledge on ways to gently nudge your surroundings, whether it's people or nature or whatever it is, but you can gently nudge or forcefully nudge these things with your magic, and how it was all still just a bastardization or a harnessing of that creator type influence or that spiritual source type indirect influence, where we're not like demons and angels ourselves, but we can sort of harness the way that they affect this reality and the way that they were harnessing that with the magic and sort of doing the same thing. I don't know. I guess that's what happens when I don't invest very much in the TV show. My mind tends to wander, but it was just sort of interesting watching them play with the bones, and just there's some interesting stories, some, subplots and things like that going on there with the show, but
mesmerism, sort of that sort of thing, you're getting closer to the magic when you're using the hypnotism and things like that. I think that's really starting to push it. But Max said the new Conspiracy R Us video about clowns was good, and I was going to bring that up, and he just wrote it. So have you guys had a look at that yet?
I have not.
No.
What? I put it in the chat. Anyway, it was about clowns, and he was sort of making this association between this idea of the Nephilim, which I don't really buy into that so much, but how they got the red hair and the white faces, and this sort of. He was sort of making parallels to maybe those like old giants and things like that.
Big, giant feet. Clowns always wear really big shoes. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and the red hair, which But the other thing that he made the association was a lot of people that take DMT or something see these clown-like entities. Yeah, albeit a circus or something like that. And I just thought that was interesting points to be making, as if they might have been derived from either somewhere in our past and utilized as a sort of archetype from somewhere specific, or
reminds me a lot of It. Oh, what? Look at Cam, autodidactic in chat, right on point, brother. That's the first thing I thought of as you started describing that. That's kind of why It was part of what It was about. That choice of using Pennywise as his avatar, both enticing the children and that it harkened back to some ancient thing about like the trickster, the jester, the one always trying to get over on us, that thing, the Red King. Oh, dude, yeah.
So maybe we should go back and
rewatch
rewatch
a movie called
Killer
Sorry,
Clowns.
John,
Maybe we need to go
Killer
back.
Clowns is what I was going to say next. Yes, sir.
That's it. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I mean, how does that not a nod to the Nephilim and the connection to clowns?
If you haven't seen that movie, it is amazing. Go watch it right after our show. It is really one of those phenomenal movies. The Chiodo brothers worked magic. The clowns are a wonder to behold.
Yeah, so there's definitely an archetype there. Yeah,
there is. There's that base fear, sort of like with snakes and spiders, that people have of clowns. Sort of a PTSD that gets carried over from from something else. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I loved clowns when I was younger. I had Bozo that I watched every single day. Did you guys get the Bozo show? Was that a nationwide thing?
It didn't hit my southern part of the world until like I was already in my probably teens, at least probably 12 to 15 before it hit on cable in my area, because being down here, it wasn't on our TV. Now we had some really sad local attempts at clownishness that really just made you sad and you didn't want to watch those shows. We all watched Buckskin Bill down here. Shout out Buckskin Bill. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't think there's been a clown with as much, notoriety as Bozo, since Bozo.
John Wayne Gacy, wasn't he a clown?
Yeah, but people didn't line up for waiting lists for years to go hang out with Gacy for a day. Like the Bozo waiting list to go to that show was 6 years or something like that. People would gift it as a birth gift when you're born. So by the time you're 6, you could go see Bozo. Yeah, it was I had one cousin that got to go see it because her Girl Scout troop went. None of my parents or my aunts or uncles ever thought 6 years ahead, But yeah, it was insane how many people wanted to go see this clown. Yeah, he was huge. I think it was because it was on WGN, and they covered, even though I don't know if WGN was the first national, but it covered like 3/4 of the country. That's why there were so many Cubs fans back in the day, because Cubs didn't have any lights on, so they played all day games and their home games in the 80s, and WGN would show their games live over 3/4 of the country. So there was, every home game that the Cubs played was on during the day, when most of the games at that time were played at night, unless it was a weekend or something. So the only game on TV, and there was no Sports Center or anything like that back then. So if you wanted to watch a baseball game, you watched the Cubs, whoever they were playing against. Yeah, that was one nice part about being a Cubs fan. Didn't matter where you went on vacation, you could still always watch the games. Yeah, I don't know why I got in. Oh, Bozo. I was on WGN in Bozo. Yeah. But yeah, that clown was famous. I don't know if it was worldwide, but people would come from all over the
Well, like I
country.
said, down here, we would get the references like in other media. We would see him referenced. I mean, like you said, it was nationwide and huge. So we knew who he was, but as far as the actual Bozo the Clown show, we probably didn't get it until at least the mid to late 80s on cable. On WGN, I would guess that's probably exactly where we were seeing it when it hit our cable system. So
he was just a good clown.
Well,
yeah, it was like
there
Dream
were
Clown.
always clowns messing with kids on other shows, like what was his name? What was his name? Her name? Clarabelle? Was that who it was on Captain Kangaroo that terrified those kids on that show? And then there was the clown on that would show up during Romper Room, which was kind of a syndicated local thing, I think, done in markets that was just done by different people. I'm not sure how that all worked out. It just seemed local. It didn't seem like it was a huge thing. Anyway, yeah, clowns. Fuck clowns. Mini rant.
Yeah, I still love their anthem, though. I always tear up when I hear that song, Send in the Clowns. You know what I'm talking about? That sad, melodic,
Isn't
that sad song.
Are we a pair? Yes, I know the song.
Yeah.
It's one of my mom's
the
favorites.
one Krusty sang.
Anyway, I'm trying to remember who it was. Damn it. I don't want to look it up. I'm going to remember
The Clowns.
It won't come.
Yeah, Billingtonos. Calling someone a bozo means they're a clown.
Wasn't that the same Light Up My Life? Wasn't that the same chick? Maybe not. Let me go look it up now. Damn it. I can't remember.
So, do you remember Romper Room, Lucas?
No.
Back to saying that you had Romper Room in Australia.
Romper Room. Well, it doesn't ring a bell to me. It's probably a little bit before my time, just.
Oh, I would think it would be before most people. Most people's time. I don't even know how you know it.
So, yeah, it's a TV series. It was 1963 to 1988. So, yeah, I was born in 83, so the tail end of that series.
So what's...
I'm looking it up as hard as I can. Commentary.
It's said that this is a pretty rare version of Send in the Clowns.
Really? Who's this?
Well, what a great game, Walter. Let's find out. Why don't you guys take your guesses and see if we can't figure it out within the first couple notes, because it's probably going to be pretty obvious, to say the truth.
Badminton.
I'll give you a chance to hear the actual voice before you throw your guesses out there, Zach.
I'm going to die when I hear this, because
Maybe he's not even going to sing.
I didn't think they would. At this point, we're pretty far in for it to have been an intro.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be instrumental. Because we're well into the verse at this point. And I mean, we're well into the chorus, and we've already been through the first verse.
Damn.
So is this Liberace? Who is it?
Freddie Mercury.
Oh, nice. Nice. Yes, he was quite a pianist. Oh, don't say
That's
anything.
a rough one to say.
You had to see. I know I lobbed that one in. Just easy, but I wasn't really trying to.
So I was reading through one of these articles you posted. Well, I think it was you. It was from the Guardian.
Which one was it?
Researchers develop a device that can hear your internal voice.
Yeah.
It's like a headset that's designed to actually start to interpret your internal voice and then like speak back to you, or, you know, connect up to Siri or whatever it is eventually.
Right.
It's like,
right. Yeah.
And they called it,
and look at the date.
Alter Ego. What?
I was just saying in the date,
18.
I think it's like from 2 or 3 years ago. Right.
And they called it.
Exactly.
If they were telling us that then imagine what they already had then. And by now, my goodness, like truly, guys, it's beyond even thinking that they're not keying in this way. You don't have to have a fucking audio thing pick up what you're saying in a room anymore. Truly, it's ridiculous at this point.
Yeah, this one. So this is 3 years ago now. The device called Alter Ego can transcribe words that the wearer verbalizes internally but do not say out loud, using electrodes attached to the skin.
Well, if you're thinking nothing wrong, you've got nothing to hide.
Yes, indeed.
You know, I always wonder when the translation things, you know, how they're going to go with, you know, Australian. It must be the hardest, like, you know, language to interpret.
Well, I found that.
Because we take the English language and basically smush it up and sometimes add things, sometimes just forget endings, you know.
Well, I found that really interesting audio video editor that basically can take your audio and transcribe it into words. And then you can edit the audio itself based on the words. So if you say and a lot, then it'll transcribe it so that you can sort of find all uhs or ums, and it highlights them all, and you can delete them all, and then your audio is deleted of all the uhs and ums. It's a really crazy thing. But what was nutty was that you
it's really nut.
Also go the other way, and if you mispronounce a word or maybe say the wrong word, this AI audio video editor basically deep fakes your voice and allows you to alter the audio in such a way that you can say things then that you didn't say originally. It's really crazy tech, and it requires a monthly subscription, but I think the first week is free. So if we wanted to try it and see how well it transcribed your audio, we would probably be able to do that if you wanted.
It would be cool to like swap people's voices. So just have like the visuals of you, Zach, or something, and then transcribe my voice in there or something, or Walt. That'd be trippy.
That would be trippy. I wonder how hard that would be to do.
Okay, we just got a couple minutes before the break, and I wanted to bring this up because I don't want to dwell on it too much. But somebody wrote in a Far Out magazine, the man Jimmy Page called the greatest guitarist of all time. who is saying Jimmy Page is the greatest guitarist of all time? Because it ain't Jimmy Page. So, I mean, I've heard him mentioned as one of the greatest, but I've never put him as the greatest guitarist of all time. And I was getting kind of miffed in the article. I got about halfway through it. And in my opinion, the greatest guitarist of all time had not been named yet. And I was starting to be like, what's going on here? But then Jimmy Page did the right thing and said he's never considered himself the greatest guitarist of all time. He's always given that to Jimi Hendrix. But they mentioned a whole bunch of other guitarists before Jimmy. That's why I was getting mad. I was like, are you serious? You're going to mention... I mean, Jeff Beck was good. There's a lot of great guitarists from back in that time. But I don't know. I would have mentioned Jimi Hendrix first. I would have put that part of the article first. I don't know. But yeah, somebody's out there saying that they think Jimmy Page was the greatest guitarist of all time. And if you do any little bit of searching and history and looking up stuff, Led Zeppelin was sued multiple times for stealing people's music. Even Stairway to Heaven was not written by Jimmy Page or Robert Plant or Jimmy Page. I mean, that guitar solo was not written by him.
Yeah, it's a tough one, like saying who's the best. You know, it's like who's the best drummer. It's like, well, it depends what style you're in, and you know,
Neil Peart.
It's like, but there's no end to it. You know, you can't definitively say.
Yeah.
That's
upset.
2 for 2.
I know.
Yeah,
almost shocked at this point. So one thing we can say for certain is that there's a break coming up. Stick around. We'll be back for the second half of the Ironworx right after this.
Censorship and regulation is becoming an ever-growing problem in today's modern media. From the mainstream to YouTube and Google, the information you're looking for is buried by official narratives and propaganda. This is why TFR is 100% uncensored, unregulated, and listener-supported. The shows on TFR are not micromanaged by the station, and our hosts are free to speak their minds however they please. As such, the views and opinions expressed on our station are of those who make them. If you happen to hear anything offensive on TFR, please send us an email to toughtitty@tfrlive.com, and we'll be happy to tell you that we really don't give a damn. We stand for freedom of speech and non-censorship. If you also stand for free speech, you can go to tfrlive.com/sign-up and sign up for a TFR supporter pass and help us in our mission to keep the airwaves uncensored and unregulated. TFR Live, your uncensored and unregulated protection from deception.
Studies show that more and more teenagers are leaving Facebook, but where are they going instead? Apparently, to the hottest new social media site in years, the comments section of this YouTube video of a deer running in slow motion. The video, titled Slow Motion Night Footage of Adult Male Deer Running, was uploaded just months ago, but already its comment section is seeing over 30 million active users, the majority of whom are teenagers and college students. But why the major social media shift? Teenagers say there are a number of reasons.
It's just where all my friends are. I go check under the deer to see funny pictures my friends are posting or to see if anyone's throwing a party. I met my boyfriend under the deer. Hey, dear me later.
Young people are using the amateur nature videos comment section to post texts or links to pictures and videos. Users can also reply to friends' posts and vote on them with a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Experts say new social media hotspots like the comment section on slow motion night footage of adult male deer running really appeal to teens for some reason.
We thought the deer might be the next Twitter. Now we think it might be the next Instagram, or maybe even the next Friendster. Bottom line is it's hip and it's cool, and I don't think it's going away anytime soon.
Just yesterday, I put a funny picture of my dad sleeping on there that went super viral. It got like 500 deer points.
And Facebook isn't giving up so easily, incorporating images and videos of deer, elk, reindeer, and even moose into their layout. But teens say that misses the point entirely. In fact, the site's one unwritten rule, don't post anything about the video itself. Teens say that's not cool. But with more and more people swapping over to the comments section of the slow motion deer video by the day, some trend watchers warn it may begin going the way of Facebook.
I was obsessed with it for a while, but now it's just boring. I'm probably going to switch over to Happy Fast Kitchen.
While we don't know for sure, we believe Happy Fast Kitchen might refer to the Yelp page for a Chinese food restaurant in Cleveland, the new social media site where musician Skrillex recently dropped his latest album. Coming up next, you tweeted and we listened. I'll once again cut myself open to prove I'm not a computer.
You are now tuned into the truth frequency.
We are TFR. TFR.
Truth Frequency Radio.
Good morning. Here. Wake up.
What is dark matter?
Okay, we don't know.
That's great. That's why it's called dark.
It's exactly.
Everyone knows all reputable information comes from random people on the internet. Tell me things, internet. The earth is flat. It's like school in your hand.
Dark matter is something we do not know what it is. We believe the dark matter is there, but we have never detected it. Well, what I'm afraid of course, is that there is no dark matter out there. There was one? There is no dark matter out there. We need to think really hard, to think really hard, to think really hard, to think really hard.
That's part of waking up. It's Folgers in your cup.
And welcome back to the second half of the Ironworx right here on Truth Frequency Radio, TFRlive.com.
It's Friday, my dudes.
It is Friday, my dudes. And believe it or not, I am joined this morning by Lucas, Zach, and Walt.
Yeah, and we have a very big show planned for this afternoon.
Thank you. That is
I
something.
didn't mention too much about it on the Glowbuster show on Wednesday. I didn't know, we like to keep it nice and light and troll-free over where we are. We're like the best little show you've never heard of. And so I didn't want to mention any name drops, but you have all heard of this lady. She was one of the original OGs when it came to interviewing flat earthers and just getting the truth out there. Not so much making content videos, but just doing interviews with, back in late 2015, early 2016, really right near the beginning. And yeah, I'm so excited that she is back and ready to start doing her thing again in the community. Yeah, awesome. But I didn't know if you guys wanted to mention her name, so I didn't.
No, you can, sure.
Absolutely. Do it.
So this evening, at 6 p.m. Eastern, Iron Realm Media's Have No Sphere channel, we will be having the ever beautiful Patricia Steer on.
That's right. It'll be an exciting episode of Have No Sphere and Other Baked Potatoes.
So she is back, folks. Get ready. Yeah, I remember she made a little comeback, but it wasn't so much about Flat Earth. She was just doing, kind of conspiracy theories that were happening at this time, but they really don't let us talk about that here on YouTube. You really can't voice an opinion on some of these topics, so that was kind of short-lived.
Yeah,
So I'm
she
not-
hasn't
we'll
been
find out.
doing too much lately, but yeah, so from what I'm getting, it seems that she's going to get back into some of the flat Earth stuff. So we'll get more into that when we talk to her, and hopefully find out some information.
Yeah.
She was, like Liz said, she was working with the crypto stuff with Paul on the plane.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, she's ready to dip her toes back into the flat Earth realm, which is awesome.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Her leaving sort of represents all of the flat Earth things that I despise.
Mm-hmm.
And the nastiness of people that can still remain even after they find flat Earth. A lot of people tend to turn over a new leaf and work at trying to be a better person and have more patience with other people. And some people just don't feel a need to address those character defaults and can be nasty, nasty people and do whatever they can to make somebody else feel like garbage. And you can take so much of it. And then eventually you can't. And her leaving was such a blow for me against to the flat Earth community in whole. I lost so much respect for so many flat Earthers based on the way that she was treated alone.
Yep, agreed.
And while I do kind of use it as for shock value, just to sort of get somebody's attention, and then I'm able to backtrack and tell them, well, maybe I'm not exactly a flat earther because here's why we can't really prove it beyond a reasonable doubt either way, but here's definitely why it's pretty obvious of what it is. But it's one of the main reasons that I don't like calling myself flat earthers, is just because of the vitriol that people can spit inside this community at people inside this community. Just really made me understand where Crow comes from and just not wanting to be a part of any group of people like that, because there's just, I mean, I guess it's a numbers game. Of course, there's going to be assholes in any cross section of communities, but I don't know. It was enough I just lost a lot of respect for people. So I'm super excited that we get to have Patricia on, because I have always been a fan of Patricia's, and I'm sure you can even see her influence in the way that we do our show. And just, again, it's not a very formal interview, but it is sort of, we want to get to know the person behind the content, which was basically what her show was all about. So that's, yeah, she has been a big influencer in this community and continues to and forever shall be. So I'm super excited that we get to have her.
Yeah, that's what I loved about her flat earth and other hot potato stuff was, you know, everybody she was interviewing was flat earthers, but she didn't really get too deeply into like the certain type of research they were doing or this and that. She was more interested on the person and their history and what brought them to flat earth and this and that. Yeah, the way she went about it, I thought was, we haven't had another Patricia since she's left. You know, it really did leave a big gap when she left. And yeah, it's just super exciting that she's coming back. It's, yeah, so good to hear. So tune in. What do we got? About 12 hours from now. A little less than 12 hours from now.
Yeah.
We'll be starting that show. Yeah, it's going to be a good one. I can't wait. Oh.
And I am kind of interested to see who still harbors a grudge, who's still going to want to try to come out and troll and treat her like garbage.
Well, I hope no one don't put up with that.
But that does bring me to the next point. Someone who I wanted to have on was Paul on the plane. We need to get Paul back on here too.
Yeah, I miss that guy. I know he kind of stepped away from FE even before the crypto. And he had a calling to spread the word of the creator. And that's a very noble calling.
It is.
And Paul's one of those guys where, he's not out there doing it for money. He's doing it because he loves people and wants them to, have that connection that he does. It's, I miss Paul. That was a big miss. Him and Noxie. I love the shows that they were putting on. Haven't heard from Nox in a while either.
Yeah, Candy mentioned him in chat. Was it last week, maybe? That she had just got off a call with him and was going to hit him up to come hit us up, and I hope that does come through.
I'll find him on Facebook. I know he's there. I see him comment on occasion. Apparently, Candy got spooked by a mannequin the other day.
Yeah.
And had stood there for like 20 minutes wondering what the dude's problem was before she realized it was just a mannequin in a yellow vest.
Just a minute, and I laughed my ass off when I saw that. Oh my God, that was great. Yeah. Why's that dude staring? Fuck that dude, I'm gonna get up. I could just see her. But yeah, I miss old Paul too, man. He was one of our homeboys. He was kind of like doing his early day stuff, hanging out with us and shit. So that was awesome. I miss him for sure. So hopefully we get him in here.
Yeah, I'm sure. I bet you I can make it happen.
Well, I'll tell you who I did get to talk to on Thursday. It was. I talked to a guy called Chris Kendall, and he's been a raw vegan for approximately 17 years. So, and I was been looking at that diet for a while now and giving it a whirl myself. And I thought, what better person to actually have a chat with than this dude who's been doing it for 17 years. So I was like, he obviously knows what he's doing. So, yeah, I thought that was cool. I can share a link if people's interested in some of his content. But, yeah, it's intriguing when you go down some of these sort of health sort of concepts and ideas. Yeah, you come across all sorts. Obviously, it's a little bit like, any area you look into, you're going to have some pretty extreme views and all that sort of thing. But, yeah, you sort of wade your way through it and, see what sort of resonates with you just as much as anything else. So, yeah, I'll drop that link in and people can check out him. But it was really interesting. It was a really nice guy. Sort of seemed to connect, as well as what was interesting. I've always had this like idea of living in a greenhouse in a sense. I thought, what better way to it's a little bit like those Earth ships, but just like an exaggerated version of them. The Earth ships have all the big earth around them to insulate them, and then they'll have a slight greenhouse in there, recycle the water through it, and really nifty designs. But I've thought, why don't you take that to a bit more of an extreme and have a much larger greenhouse incorporated into your house, where you basically a nice environment to actually lounge around in, as well as have food, because I'm all about food, growing my own garden and stuff. So, you know what I mean? So, but he had the actual same concept. So I'm like, oh, you're probably the first dude I've met who thought about that. So I thought that was cool. But I'm ranting, aren't I? Sorry about that.
Oh, dude, I'm glad you're excited, because I know you were pumped up after we talked. I guess it was Tuesday you were telling me about it, and you were so excited. And I had looked at his site when you sent it to me. And he seemed like he'd be a very upbeat, exciting dude to hang out with. He's definitely got some energy. So, yeah, I'm glad it went well for you.
Yeah, well, he was actually it's interesting listening to his story and a pro skater and things like that. So still loves skateboarding and all that. So yeah, very cool. Just something I've been doing on the side. I like to look at different, try and look at different things that interest me that are, so I'm not sort of a one-trick pony in a sense.
Yeah, you of all people, that's the first thing I think. That fucking Lucas, this one trick pony ass. Dude, fucking anyway, musical genius. But anyway.
And if you're into those alternate housing, I really recommend having a look at like earthbag building if you've never seen that. I mean, it's probably the simplest way to build a house, and it's like rock solid. I remember in one of the books I read, this guy was building one of those houses, and I don't know, he ran a car into the wall. That fucked up his car, but it didn't do anything to the wall. So it's a very cool, very cheap way of actually building a house.
Have you seen those? I was just having this thought, Lucas, about the little, I don't even know what you would call it. Not an aquarium, but where they put a plant in there and they seal it off.
Terrarium? Yep.
The self-contained biosystem. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Could we live in something like that?
The jar, and then they tap the top, and it's done.
We could make huge air filters out of cigarette butts. I think this has been done before. I'm just saying.
Yeah, kind of like Biodome, but not so big.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. Like, you have the biodome, and then you have the insulation around the outside of the biodome. And the thing is, when it heats up, when the air heats up in that greenhouse, you just pop the top. And what it does is all the hot air wants to escape outside, and then it draws in from, basically the surrounding through the house, pulls it in through the house. And that's exactly what these earth ships were doing. You could open the windows up on the heated side of the house, and that would then cause a draw, and then it would pull the cold air through all that earth that had been built up. And so you basically got an organic air conditioning system. And I just thought that's a brilliant way of thinking about setting up a house where it's constantly regulating itself rather than using electricity.
Oh, and did you see that pump? I'm pretty sure I sent it to either the pre-show or Ironworx or one of our chats. But it's a pump that there's no electricity to it. And it pumps more water than a pump that has electricity to it.
Has it got that weird name? Some sort of weird name for it? What's it called?
Yeah, it's got like a tire around the center part, and the water pressure comes down and it lifts the whole thing up, and then it pushes itself back down. But Bob's getting a book on it. I showed him the video, and it's pretty much water pressure. It can go uphill without any type of motorized anything.
Yeah, I've read it. I don't remember the name. I thought it started with like a J or something, but basically it uses, so you've got a large amount of water you can catch from the river, and then it sort of flows down, and the pressure of that large amount of water gets, it's sort of the gravity of it, the heaviness of that water actually keeps the pump going. So you're not actually getting, you're getting huge pressures, but not a huge amount of water. So you can pump them, and it goes forever. Basically, it's just using the mechanism of the weight of the amount of water coming down the stream.
Yeah,
is that correct?
A Binyup pump.
That's it.
Binyup.
That's
it.
Interestingly enough, our buddy Ross Thatcher, shout out there, Ross, talking about having been designing natural air conditioning systems on paper for years now. That's awesome. Plus dehumidification from the air. When you started talking about this, it also made me think about, I used to be a huge nature documentary guy. Like anything, I would watch it, especially anything that had to do with like small, tiny nature. And this one series back in the 90s, 80s, I can't remember which one it was, but it got into ants and how ants are pretty integral to life as we know it, and yet people don't realize that. And then it started going into this whole interconnectedness with these species of these tree things, and I just got all crazy. But the craziest thing was these huge hills out in the middle of this, like, I think it was in the desert, and the way they designed them up in the air with all these weird tunnelings and openings, it would always stay cool inside this thing just from the way they designed the airflow inside it, even if it was hundreds of, above 100 outside. It was crazy. I'm going to see if I can find that old documentary.
I think
it
that
may
was
have been,
termites was doing that because the termites built those mounds. I don't know if it was ants, but
this was definitely an
yeah.
ant special because I remember all the different species and how like there was this one that had this like weird, crazy. I'm gonna look it up. Give me a minute.
Okay,
yeah, I know
cool.
the termite thing too, but this was definitely like mind
An ant
blowing
one.
ants.
Yeah, it's sweet. I love those designs that are like that pump you're talking about, Zach, or even the air conditioning and the earth ships. And I just like those simple designs that basically there's no moving parts. They do their job, and there's something really elegant to the efficiency they
It's
achieve
like they follow
just
nature.
by yeah.
They just see these. Those are the greatest inventors, if you want to call them an inventor. In my opinion, they're the ones that look at nature and they just mimic it. Whether it be an insect or a bird or, the way something digests something, there's so many different ways you can look at nature. Or just the way, the ground forms, electricity striking things. If you can harness that, what happens naturally, I mean, I think that's what we're supposed to be doing. Really, I think that puts a little grin on the creator's face when we do stuff like that.
And that's another reason why I always bring up that Trinity idea as well, because it's so integral to this understanding the dynamics of energy movement. You know what I mean? So when you actually design something, you're always thinking about, where's the polarity? How can I get the energy to shift from one pole to the other pole? In a sense, where is that Mercury point? Where is the energy?
Yeah, everything doesn't matter what type of force, energy you're talking about. It's all pressure mediation. Yep. Everything wants to go from higher to lower and equalize. That's all Mother Nature is. I'll quote Ken Wheeler. Mother Nature is not some person with glasses and a lab coat and the pocket protector and a calculator saying, you need to go here, you need to do this, and, r root square pi. No. It's some hippie chick with dreadlocks and flowers in her hair, barefoot, dirty feet, walking around saying, come on, let's all be friends. Everybody, let's just equal. Let's all be nice. That's all Mother Nature does. That's all she does. High pressure to low pressure. It is that simple. If you can wrap your head around that, then you understand so much. It makes it so much easier to comprehend why things happen in the world of physics. It's all based on this. No matter what type of potentials you're talking about, everything wants to equalize. Like Lucas said, find that zero Mercury, that spot in the center.
Yeah, and then, when you just take the polarity to the extreme, then you have the sun and the moon. And once you see the polarity in that, then everything makes perfect sense. One's hot, one's cold, there's just, and then you see that there's a pumping action of these, happening through the world with the the sun going around and lifting things up, expanding, and the other one condensing and contracting. And so it becomes a very natural way of looking at how things operate. And it's spectacularly easy and yet so complex at the same time. I reckon I'll just love it.
Well, that's going to bring us to...
It really is.
It's damn near the end of the third segment. That's all I say. We got about
okay.
90 seconds.
Right
Wow. It is flying along.
We're going to have to dip into the lettuce pile and look at some space lettuce here. There's been some stuff going on. Some crazy stuff over the last just 12 hours. I just found an article that I hope there's video or some evidence of this. You know, somebody should have been seeing this somewhere on Earth. So yeah, it'd be cool if this actually throws another monkey wrench in their whole little machine of lies. But yeah, we'll get to that after the break. Let's see if you in chat can find out what I'm talking about. It just happened within the last 12 hours. Big space news.
Also coming up on the other
you
side of
guys
the break.
Don't get to play.
What?
Nope.
Whatever.
Only the people in chat.
We're going to have a little Globe House rock coming up on the other side of the break as well. From Tommy, that flat fellow, and the Kakalaki crew. We've got a nice little video / audio presentation, so we'll be able to knock both out in one get. So that should be nice. Make sure you stick around. So we got that. We got space lettuce. We got all kinds of fun stuff coming up.
Elon found a salad in a black hole. Just saying. That was Mad Pie Man.
That's what happens when you toss salads. I'm just saying. Anyway, this is
I love you all in chat.
We shall be right back right after these briefest of messages for the fourth and final segment. Stick around.
The reviews for Extendivite are amazing. Here are some from Amazon. September 2018. Extendivite works in keeping my blood pressure in the normal range. I've been using Extendivite for many years now. May 2018. Great product. I use regularly and I rarely get sick. March 2018. This product has relieved what appeared to be angina pain in my chest and shortness of breath after climbing stairs. I'm quite happy about it. February 2018. My husband, son, and I have been using this product for a few months now, and we have noticed an improvement in our joints and blood pressure. Tell us your story. Get Extendivite today. To order, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822, or visit heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendivite.
Do you want to lose weight but have no idea where to begin? The Fast Start Diet, a 3-day weight loss plan, is the answer. 3 days of nutritionally balanced, calorie-restricted meals delivered right to your door. No shopping, no measuring, and no cooking. Everything is prepared for you and ready to eat at home or on the go. The Fast Start Diet has all the amazing benefits of intermittent fasting without starving. We've helped thousands of people who have struggled to reach their weight loss goals. Isn't it time we helped you? With the Fast Start Diet, you'll lose weight and feel great.
Find us on Amazon or go to faststartdiet.com and use promo code POWER to get $10 off your first box. As a special bonus, we will include our #1 rated Lipo3 appetite suppressant spray free with your order. Whatever your diet plans are, start with us at faststartdiet.com and use promo code POWER.
Dowsing is the ancient science of finding water and metal underground. Albert Einstein said that dowsing was tapping into earth energies which modern science as yet does not understand. Diamonds, silver, gold, and platinum objects have all been found using dowsing. And now, for the first time on film, we visit the pyramids, Stonehenge, and ancient sites, dowsing for buried treasure and tapping into this mysterious earth energy.
The Enigma Channel. Intelligent television for planet Earth. EnigmaTV.com.
This is Truth Frequency Radio.
No hate, no hype, no fear. Real people, real radio.
Globehouse rock!
Whew. You sure gotta climb a lot of steps to get to this elementary school here in Washington. But I wonder who that sad little globe is.
I'm just a globe, yes, I'm only a sphere, and I'm sitting here in your local school. Well, it's a long, long journey across this great nation. It's a long, long way to be used for indoctrination, but I know that I'll be all that you hear, just me and the poet Shakespeare. But today I am here just a sphere.
Gee, Globe, you certainly have a lot of patience and courage.
Well, I got this far. When I started, I wasn't even real. I was just an idea. Some folks decided the best way to control people was me, so they made me up so kids like you would stop questioning things. The best way to indoctrinate people is to start before they can think for themselves. So they teach me in every classroom across the plain, and I become an idea planted in your brain. I'm just a globe, yes, I'm only a sphere, and I'm sitting here in school on a shelf. Well, I'm never stuck in debate, so I'll just sit here and wait while a few key people decide all of our fate, whether they should chill or just let me be real. How I hope and pray that they will, but today I am here just to spill.
Listen to those scientists arguing. Is all that discussion and debate about you?
Yeah, I'm one of the lucky lies. Most lies never even get this far. I hope they decide I'm a big enough important lie, otherwise I may die.
Die?
Yeah, die in debate. Oh, it looks like I'm gonna live. Now I go to the education system and they write about me.
If they do, what happens?
Then I go to the schools and I wait on this shelf and the whole thing starts all over again.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. I'm just a globe, yes, I'm only a sphere, and if the scientists can't think for themselves, well then I'm off to this shelf where I'll be put in a book. Put there by the crooks for the teachers to preach. If they teach me unclear, the facts disappear. And I hope and pray that they will. But today I am here just a sphere.
You mean even if the whole world says you aren't real, the education system and scientists can just make you up?
Yes, that's called indoctrination. If the schools teach me, I'll be in every mind of every kid, and they'll teach me again and again. And by that time,
you're so old that you won't question anything they say. You will take it as fact. It's not easy to become a lie, is it?
Yes, but I hope I stay true to myself. And I'm not just a globe, on a shelf.
They rejected your indoctrination. Now you're free, Globe. You're a Gleason's man.
Oh, yeah!
That is.
Oh my God,
So good.
that was genius. Dude, you guys are beyond epic. Shout out Khaki Lackey Crew, man. Oh my goodness. Tommy, thank you, brother.
I was watching it. I was watching Schoolhouse Rock. That was great. I mean, the voice, dude, when you said indoctrination, I mean, who put those words together? Who wrote that? That was great.
Yeah, that was epic. The intonation, the inflection, yeah, it was great all the way around. And then I don't know if you guys had a backing track or if you guys played that backing track, but my goodness, yeah, definitely.
It's not easy to be a lie, is it?
That's so good.
Wow.
Oh, that's so good. I'm grinning from ear to ear, man. I wish my camera was working.
Yeah, me too. I'm glowing. That was bravo, sir, to everybody in that Cadillac.
And for those of us that grew up in the 70s watching those with a glass of Tang, hello.
I like Tang.
Saturday mornings. Yeah, that was great. That was great. Thank you, man. It took me back.
I'm speechless.
I can't wait to show it to Michelle. She loves, like, we have the DVD set. So yeah, she's gonna appreciate that one. That's awesome.
Yeah, Tommy wrote that, and the Kakalaki crew made it. We worked 2 months on it.
It shows. It's epic.
Yeah,
epic. Holy crap!
That one needs to be spread everywhere.
Few seconds. Here's what's funny though. Here's for the first few seconds, I was having some trouble with my computer suddenly, so I had to reset it. So I had the phone, which is where I'm doing the show now, for a little while. I had the phone set down, facing straight up, so I wasn't looking at the screen. And as the voice immediately sounded like authentic to the real guy, whose name I used to know, I was like, "Oh my God! I hope this could be animated by somebody really good, man," because the audio is great. And I look down at my phone and it's happening. I'm like, oh, they did it. Yes. Oh man, I was so excited. Yeah, that's great, man. Thank you.
Yeah, that needs to be everywhere. Everybody needs to see that one.
Yeah, they'll see it. They'll see it this afternoon again for sure.
Man, you guys are going to start getting offers from like Hollywood and stuff.
Like I was thinking the same thing. I hope we don't lose this crew when the big dogs start barking at them, because man, they got some talent. My God, there's some talent, dude.
No, I don't think they could buy Tommy. Just saying. I think he's one of those souls that you couldn't offer him any certain amount of money. I mean, you got to remember, he's doing all this stuff while working like 70 some odd hours a week. Something insane. The guy's a machine. It's people like this that, you know, they just make it fun to wake up in the morning, see what they got coming next. Yeah. Much love, brother. That was excellent. Man, just imagine. That was 2 months ago that they started on that. Imagine what they're working on right now. Or still sitting on a shelf, just, you know, percolating. Yeah, hold on, folks. I'm pretty sure that's not the end. That Kakalaki crew's got some talent.
Well, what's going to have to happen is one day we're going to have an unveiling of this big crew. Like, all come hang out with us or something, man. That'd be great.
Yeah, why don't you plant that seed, Tommy? Tell the Kakalaki crew we'd love to have just as many of them on as can possibly make it on a Friday evening. Or we could spread it out.
Yeah, we won't even
percolate, marinating. Yeah, we'll just turn you guys loose. It'll be like
big roundhouse. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, man, that'd be amazing. If y'all want to, like, you know, stay off camera so the mystique can be maintained, that's fine. Whatever your plan is, I'm all about it.
But yeah, I think everybody would really love to hear the whole backstory of how you guys decided to start meeting up and the family grew, and because there's quite a big crew that goes out there every weekend and is hitting that flea market, and then it turned into let's all work together and do this, and it's not just here in Kakalaki. I mean, the Kakalaki crew is spread plain wide. They are working with people.
I got that impression that it wasn't just like local. Yeah, it has to be epically across the plain.
Walter, how hard would it be for you to dig up our Schoolhouse Rock Ironworx? I am looking everywhere. I don't know where the hell I would have put it. Do you remember that?
True. It's not in Telegram?
Not that I can find. I thought it would be. I've checked.
That would be where I would look. All right. But I'll dig around. Definitely. So.
All right. So nobody in chat figured out the big news from space that happened within the last 12 hours. So should we let them know?
Nope.
Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah. Let them know. Let them know. Let them in.
Yeah. So if you hadn't heard, the space station just got an upgrade, the ISS. It's the first upgrade in over, I think, a decade.
Well, is it Windows, XP or 98?
You've got mail.
No, they got rid of one of their capsules, one of the Russian capsules, and got a bigger, newer one. This is the biggest capsule now of the space station. It's a new airlock that the docking will be done on. Well, as of 6:20 p.m., so just over 12 hours now, Russia's new space station module fired its engines in air, pushing the entire station into an hour-long spin. So they're saying they lost control of the International Space Station, and it was spinning for an hour. It rotated 45 degrees before it was able to get back to its original position.
I got it, Walter, by the way.
Oh, was that the Scandinavian tail whip? Zach? You remember that on that? Oh, it was like a car show, and this little guy, he's driving this van, and he goes, "This one's a Scandinavian tail whip," and he basically reefs the wheel left and then reefs it right, and then just rolls down the rest of the road.
Yeah, they're saying astronauts on the ISS told flight controllers they were seeing something strange out their windows. Bubbles, maybe? Maybe people in like diving suits? Nope. Space journalist Anatoly Zak was among the first to notice their observations. Numerous particles are also seen outside the station, indicating either major propellant leak or gas vent. He tweeted. So all this is going on, and this guy has time to tweet this shit? Really? Okay, put yourself in their shoes for a second. You can't. You're out in the middle of nowhere, okay? There is no timeout. We need to stop this for a second. You're up there. Something bad happens. You're going to die. Now, guess what? Something bad just happened. You're seeing propellant or air. You don't know what it is. Something horrible is going on. It's like code red right now. You think the first thing you're going to do is go tweet something? Really? I don't think so.
Probably not.
Okay, so in response to the glitch, flight controllers began firing.
So, Zach, have you noticed? I'm sorry, sir. We timed it wrong. But before you go into the story, have you noticed, like, maybe a wreck on the side of the road or in the middle of the road or whatever, or at an intersection, or you see somebody fall down in the middle of the road and start having epileptic seizure, some other horrifying, someone needs help situation. And of course, immediately everybody runs to their pocket, grabs their fucking cell phone, pulls it out, and starts videoing it. So, yeah, somebody tweeting while this fucking International Space Station spins out of control.
Yeah, that's the thing, though.
That was
This
the real
isn't
thing.
this isn't the person, that's convulsing in the center of the road. These are onlookers. This is the guy convulsing in the center of the road who decided in the middle of his convulsion to tweet about it. It's a little different. I could see onlookers not doing anything, but when you're the person in that situation, the last thing on your mind is going to be tweeting. If it is on your mind, you have serious issues with social media and you need professional help. I'm not a doctor. I don't pretend to play one here on TFR, but if you're in a life-threatening situation where shit is hitting the fan all around you, you don't know what's going on, and you need to tweet that out real quick, you have bigger problems. Just saying.
So the other thing is, so this thing's spinning out of control for a while. What are the actual, if you're an astronaut, right, and you wouldn't grab onto the side of that spinning thing, otherwise you'd start spinning with it. So you literally can't grab onto the sides of the shuttle or whatever, ISS. Otherwise, it'd be all spinning. You'd go spinning with it. Is that correct? Am I thinking about that right?
The first thing yeah, you are, but actually before you could even get a good handhold on anything, you would become entangled in tubes and wiring and just dangly bits. Because apparently OSHA never went up and made them secure fucking wiring and tubing and dangly bits. Sorry, walking over.
Always secure the dangly bits. That's all I'm saying.
So yeah, they got it under control.
Let me guess. They put their finger in it.
No, they began firing thrusters on 2 other parts of the Russian side of the ISS, including the service module, in what they called a tug of war to get the station back into its normal position.
See, you don't
like when you play Dollar Set Man. Sorry, go.
No, that's much better than mine. I'm not even. Say, yeah, I suppose you could put your finger in it.
Man, you put that jet the other direction when you're out of control to try to stop your little egg. Sorry, I'll stop again.
So yeah, you could fix it like a hole in the ISS and just put your finger in it. But I think tug of war is more appropriate. So no need to put your finger in. Just walk up and grab them by the thrusters.
So they got everything under control. It's safe. It's safe to say the remainder of the day is no longer going to happen as scheduled, of course. So far, astronauts have reported nothing amiss. They didn't even feel the station moving during the incident, according to ISS program manager Joel Montalbano.
That's lucky.
Yep. They asked the crew, hey, did the space station shake or anything like that? And the response was negative, he said during a briefing on Thursday afternoon. He's not too worried about it. It was about 0.5 degree per second. That doesn't make sense. If it did it for an hour and it only went 45 degrees, that doesn't equal 0.5 degree per second. Just saying. So yeah, everything's cool. Space station's still good. Still scheduled to go on for 9 more years. So you got to wait 9 years to watch them build the next space station, or not watch them build the next space station.
Not watch them not build it.
Or not watch them not build it.
Which I think means you help build it. I'm not sure how those triple negatives work.
Not watch them didn't build it, not watching. I don't know.
Not.
Ignorance.
Build.
We'll still have animations in a few years after the fact for you.
Because I'm
that will
just
be
a
sent
globe.
to you every time you question the Globey. Anyway, sorry, I'll stop. That required an epic lurch level of.
Oh, yeah. So the stories never stop, folks. Of course, they had to have something happen with this whole new thing they were doing. And the one they released, the module they released, it was filmed, burning up in the atmosphere.
I was going to say, didn't they burn up
by
the
an
whole
astronaut.
gig?
Just
Right.
by an astronaut.
Oh, wait, you mean every other day I see a new comet video pop up because everyone walks around with a camera now, but nobody caught that happening in the...
No, come on now.
I'm just checking.
Over the Pacific Ocean.
Oh,
of course.
Coinky dinky.
But I'd like to see if there's any amateur footage of the space station rotating. Not in its... Because, there's people out there.
What if the Vomit Comet fucked up again? Remember that old footage where they all slam against the wall? So that maybe what happened is the Vomit Comet fucked up and they got to accommodate that in their future. I'll stop. I will stop.
So yeah, a little bit of excitement. Was even tweeted about live, I guess. Makes sense to me. In no way at all, but whatever.
Really quickly, I just realized how close we actually are to the end of this show. Do not forget to tune in this afternoon with our friend Patricia Steer, in case we forget that. Really quickly, before we go, apparently there's been an unknown liquid phase discovered in glass. Basically a new type of material. Interesting, considering we've theoretically talked about liquosity above us of different types and how that could happen and what that could mean and different phases of water and what water actually could be and what it actually is and how it's probably totally not at all what they tell us it is. And so, but it starts talking about just these different weird, strange layering down at, of course, a microscopic level and finding this previously unknown phase of liquid. They're trying to develop a super thin, high density glass, using it with displays, optical fibers, etc. So I'm trying to find where they got to it. There we go. Through a new discovery, they have a new. It's saying the same shit over and over in every paragraph. God, I hate bad writing. This is bad writing. This is just bad writing all the way across.
But the editor said he wanted 1,500 words.
I was going to say, so we just needed to fill the page with the same. It's kind of like where you see a book and we're going to do this today and we're going to do that. And like 5 chapters in, you've realized that we're still trying to tell us what we're going to be doing and we haven't actually done that yet. Okay, so here we go. The 2 liquids there's 2 liquids now. So apparently there's 2. I finally found some quotes. The 2 liquids have distinct structures akin to graphene and diamond, which are both solids made of carbon but exist in very different forms. Okay. Let me go back up because that doesn't make sense. We need more information. See what I'll do before we run out of time here with this story that's actually not making any sense at all now. Let's just say they found some new form of glass because I see a lot more about glass in this story than I do about the liquid.
I want a rig made of space glass.
Right?
Surely they can't take some of this up into the ISS and spin it like a centrifuge and make me some of this really cool space glass with this unknown phase of water inside the glass. I don't know.
Right?
If you guys are saying.
Gurgle.
Gurgle.
Well,
gurgle. I love y'all. Y'all have a great day. We'll see you next time.
Gurgle.
Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. Gurgle. hopefully we'll see you back here this afternoon, evening, morning, whatever it is for you.
Hopefully. Oh, before we go, I'm sorry.
Oh, wow. You brought the mummy back. Sweet.
The mummy has been resurrected. Well, I guess I don't want to do that now. I can't find it. Where is it? I've lost the story. Man, never mind.
Wah, wah.
There it is. Okay, so they're talking about a new balloon-based observatory that could produce images as fine as the Hubble.
But doesn't
and they're showing
Sophia already do better than the Hubble? Just saying.
But it's 2021, Zach. We've moved on from jet airplanes and passenger planes retrofitted with cameras. We're all about balloons now.
You're balloon it.
Balloon it.
Just put it on a balloon.
Right? Because that's how technology works.
Yeah, we go backwards.
One step forward, two steps back. Yeah.
In 50 years, it'll be a hard process to build back jet engines, so we just won't do it.
What we should do is transport people in these giant dirigibles filled with hydrogen gas. What's the worst that could happen? Oh, the humanity.
That's why you use helium, non-flammable helium.
I actually read something about the hydrogen and how they were using it, and it was actually extremely safe how they were using it.
Well, yeah, they just had to stop the use of dirigibles, so we had to have a scare tactic.
Yeah, exactly. I should bring that up as find the article that I was reading that from, but it was very interesting.
Love you guys for sure. See you guys in about 11 hours or so, give or take a few.
A few, give or take. You never can tell when things are finally going to kick off. You do try to make it as early as possible for Liz.
Yeah, we will, especially when we have somebody lovely there. Thank y'all. Love y'all.
Thank you, guys. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Thanks for spending your morning and or evening with us. Love you guys. Have a great rest of your weekend as well. Make sure you do tune in this evening, 5 p.m. Central Time. Miss Patricia Steer and other baked potatoes. Be good, be well. We love you. Bye-bye.